7-8 grand with the proper lens kit that you need for it. You know, and I'm assuming what you're doing is $40,000-$50,000 equipment range.
A little more than that, but yeah.
What do you mean?
Like my RE camera? Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. Upwards of around probably 70 with lens kit. Yep, that's the guy.
Holy shit, what is wrong with you?
That's used on eBay, look. You feel what I'm saying?
And you own this. You don't have payments on this thing.
Absolutely not. Like, my business model is if I wanted to quit tomorrow and move to Puerto Rico, I can liquidate my entire production company and get at least 75% of my money back and sail off into the sunset.
So what
I always want to be liquidable to where when I'm done on my terms. I'm not left with a bunch of interest payments and basically holding the bag, as they say.
So you have one of these in your possession. What makes this, as you're getting proof, a $55,000 asset? 75 new, obviously, but what makes it a $55,000?
What is one of your favorite Hollywood films, like big budget Hollywood films, say in the last 5 years?
The Mission Impossible movies seem to pull some badass shit off.
Okay, so Mission Impossible is not one of them, but that level of movie, 90% of them are shot on that exact camera right there. Okay. So when you want your shit to look like
a movie,
Martin Scorsese made it, you shoot on one of them.
So what's some examples?
As far as what films?
Yeah.
Casino, the third Transformer was shot on an RE. I mean,
and I would assume not just one.
No. Like when we did the Dirt 1 series on Kyle Larson, that's the camera we used because they wanted it to have a really big budget look. So we rented 12 of those at a time.
12?
12.
And so you rented them for a week or 2 weeks?
It all depended on the shoot schedule.
And so what?
But like Chili Bowl was a week.
And what would a week rent on one of these be?
Rental? About 180-ish.
Dollars?
180,000 for the camera and lens rentals.
Well, yeah,
for the week.
Oh, for 12.
Yeah.
Okay, so for each, it's probably, I don't know what that would be, but
I think
it's a lot.
It's like 27 something a day for each camera. And then the lens, I think, was like $39.95. I mean, dude, that's $4,000 a day just for one lens per day.
Right. Wow. And that's the most expensive camera you have in your arsenal?
What did I have? That is not the most expensive RE camera that's out
What is the camera you want that you don't have that you can't afford right now?
No, I have the one I want.
Okay.
Because
there's
this
nothing
one,
latest, greatest coming.
No, there is, but this one is made for documentaries as well.
Okay.
So I have the version of this camera that's actually set up to what they call run and gun, one-man operator. This one here requires 2 people to even operate it because all the controls are on the other side of the camera. So when I'm holding the camera like this, my first AC, who's hot as 10 motherfuckers sitting right over there.
Well, you can put her on the camera. There's room for you to stand in the middle. Will you stand in the middle?
So when I have the camera over here, she usually has to work the controls over here, right?
But his is run and gun, so he doesn't need.
So all my controls are on my side.
Okay.
Right, and all my audio controls are on my side, so I can live structure my camera on the run because when you're shooting a doc, life happens, right? You can't.
Right.
When we're shooting on set, and we have what's called a call sheet and a set list where every scene is set up for hours. Mm-hmm. We shoot that one scene and then we break, we set up another. When you shoot like that, you don't need run and gun because you're literally...
It's a controlled environment.
100%.
Right.
Right? So I have the version that's made to make documentaries like we make on racing and bull riding and cage fighting and so on and so forth. So I have the one I want.
You have modifications. How much was it to get the modifications to get to that?
It wasn't. It's just a different version of this camera. It's got the same sensor, same processor. It's got the same internals. It's just built differently for a different operator.
You have this particular one, but then you also have another one that is set up that way.
I've got 3 more that are set up that way.
So you have 3 of these cameras.
No, I have one RE, which is the bad boy, right? And then I've got a Pixis and 2 Z cams.
Okay.
And Z cams are, as funny as you mention it, is on the Mission Impossible movies and on the first Top Gun remake.
That was a badass.
They use Z cams because they're this big, but they're
hold on, we got to see this. What is it?
They're
Z cam?
6K
what are they
cinema cameras. Z cam, that's an X.
Oh. You see when
F6. F is in Frank.
I would assume this
right here. And this is what I use as a crash cam on the racetrack. See how small that is?
Yeah.
It's literally this big. But it has the same power and processor as an FX6 that everybody else is running around
The
with.
Sonys.
Yeah, right? So I'm getting the same image, quality-wise, but I can go bury that in the cushion and stick the lens out of the cushion, just like I did at Eldora and like I did at all these other racetracks, like I did at the Chili Bowl. All those
is
shots
there
I have
any-
at the Chili Bowl, people are like, how do you get that shot?
You
like
buried a
Larson's
camera?
running the camera over. Literally, yes, he is. And I knew where he was going to be running the wall because I saw him do it at the shootout. So I knew exactly where to bury that thing in the cushion so that when he was ripping the lip in the main event at the Chili Bowl, he was doing it on top of my camera. No one else has that angle. No one, not even...
Do we have a clip of that?
Yeah.
Or
No, actually we don't. Not that he can pull up.
Okay. So you will bury this entire encasement into the track. Do you have like a little hand shovel to do that? Or?
I mean, a cushion you can usually just dig
And
in.
is there any risk?
I do
Is there
have
any
a-
risk when you do that?
Absolutely. We did it at Placerville
And you lost one?
and Austin Wood jumped the cushion and got into the U-tire that it was attached to and literally scattered my camera in about 50 pieces onto the racetrack.
Now, do you have insurance to cover losses
Absolutely.
like that?
Absolutely.
So when that happens, you have to file a claim?
It all depends. Sometimes the juice is not worth the squeeze when it comes to indemnity or business insurance. Like meaning...
So what about that? For instance, with that
It's-
camera, you just took the loss of $2,000?
Basically, yeah. Had to. Because filing a claim on it would have jumped my premium beyond what it was
What
worth
it was worth, yeah.
to do the $2,000. So sometimes, like if my RE had got, oh, bet your ass, I'd still be on the insurance company's phone line as we speak. I'd still be on hold.
And what is typical cost for that insurance for covering that amount of money? I mean, we're talking.
for the
It sounds like we're talking. You got
For the
close to
year?
$500,000 in equipment.
About 270 total. Yeah, we did an audit just
Okay.
last month.
I thought most of it's rebuilding.
Okay.
Yeah, she builds
so
cameras too.
$300,000 worth of equipment is the policy, I guess, cap. And how much does insurance? How much are you having to pay to cover that amount of liability? I
Last
would
year for
assume.
the year, we paid $1,280.
Okay.
$1,280
So about $1,000 a month.
No, that's for the year.
$1,280.
12,000.
12,000. Oh, I thought you was meaning
No.
12,000.
No, insurance.
That's not bad. That's
No,
a good deal.
it's
That's
not
a
at all.
hell of a deal.
But if you start making claims
If you claim
on that,
one, that's
that
gonna
like
go
starts
up.
tripling and quadrupling.
I would hope it's a 70,000 damn. You won't even get close to that. You could pay that
What
amount
I'm
for
saying to
20
you
years.
is rather than jump my rates $2,000 a year,
You take $2,000 hits.
and I can go get another used one and replace it. If it was the RE, we are talking a total different story. But the Z cams, because we use them as crash cams and in-car cams, buy the ticket, take the ride. It comes with it. Just like a driver, this is not a safe sport. Well, guess what? It's not safe for us either.
Right.
We take the same risks the drivers do.
So
When
what?
you see my footage and you go, how did you get that? That's because I was literally on the racetrack as a 410 sprint car was bearing down on me, and at the very last minute, I pull the camera back. That's how you get those angles, right? Taking those kind of risks, I love it. It's like swimming in a tank with great white
Sharks.
sharks.
Yeah, I related the whole sport to that at one point.
Yeah.